Hello everyone and welcome to our Ask the Admin session for Friday, August 16th. My name is Mike Walgren and I'm the Director of Marketing Automation Services here at Kyazma. I'm also a Salesforce Sales Cloud Consultant and a Certified Administrator. What I wanted to talk with you about today is customizing your application using record types, lead processes, and sales processes. In other words, allowing you to do some customization within Salesforce to match up those key business processes. So before we start off, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. So if you look at the GoToWebinar panel that's on the right-hand side of your screen, you can expand it out or collapse it using the orange arrow. That panel can be used to ask questions during the presentation. I'm going to hold all of those questions until the end. But I will get to those when at the very end of the presentation. If you would like to ask a question verbally, just go ahead and click on the hand raise icon, and that will unmute you, and you can ask your question verbally. All of the attendees currently are muted, and so I'm going to have to unmute you if you want to ask a question verbally. So, and just so you know, we do these sessions every Friday, and we touch on a different topic each time. We always do them at 10 a.m. on Friday mornings. And we also have new user trainings every Friday as well, though because of a company meeting as well as the Labor Day holiday, we will not be doing those over the next 2 Fridays. But they will be something that we'll also be doing on a regular basis at 11 o'clock. Feel free to send anyone that is a new Salesforce user to the trainings to get kind of a primer on using Salesforce for the first time. All of the sessions that we do here are also recorded, and we post those recordings up on our website under resources and webinars. So with that, I want to go ahead and get started. So talking a little bit about record types and what that means. First of all, I should mention that this functionality is available in Enterprise Edition only. So if you're on Professional Edition or below, you will not be able to use this functionality, but it's something that may encourage you or make you think a little bit about or consider moving to Enterprise Edition. The key with record types is it allows you to manage separate business processes in the same Salesforce object. So for example, the 2 examples that we're going to show today are lead processes and sales processes. So for example, you may have 2 separate sales teams within your organization. They may have different opportunity stages or different areas in the life cycle. So you can actually customize Salesforce to enable those 2 processes and be able to track them equally. You can also like on a lead process where you may have 2 different types of leads that come in based on a different product, you can actually customize your lead process to meet the needs of those different product lines. So you can also create custom pick lists, and that's one thing that's really cool about record types is that you can actually display a different pick list for the same field on different record types. And again, lead and sales processes are just demonstrating one way to do that. You can also assign record types to specific profiles to fit their business processes. So we'll show how to do that. We're basically by the profile of the user, you can show them different record types or give them the option to select a record type when they create a record. And then you can also create different page layouts for each record type so that the users that are assigned to that record type are only seeing the fields that are applicable to them. So the example that we're going to use today is going to be with partners and like a channel sales team as opposed to a standard direct sales team. We're gonna be a pretend software organization. We do some of our sales through a channel, we do others of our sales through direct, and so we want to be able to enable both of those different lead and sales processes. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Now, what you're seeing here is I'm logged in as the administrator. And so I've also got a couple of other accounts that I'm logged into right now that are different types of users, and we'll use those to actually see how this information displays on the user side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new account record type. So I'm going to click on my name and go up to Setup, scroll down, go to Customize and Accounts. So if I scroll down, you'll notice that I've got this option for record types. And again, you'll only see this if you're in Enterprise Edition. So you notice that I've got a standard account record type already set up. And that's the one that I'm using for everyone today. What I'd like to do now is set up a partner account record type where I can display different types of information. I can do a different sales process and change the pick list on the field. So I'm going to go ahead and click New. And one thing I can do when I'm creating a record type is it tells me, the system says you can either base it on a master, which is the out-of-the-box layout, or I can base it on one of my existing record types. So I'm actually going to base this record type on my standard account record type. I'm going to give it a label. It's going to give me a unique Salesforce name. I'm going to go ahead and make it active. And what you'll notice here is that I've got a list of the profiles of my users in Salesforce. And so what I can do at this point is decide which of these profiles I would like to enable this for. So I'm going to go ahead and enable this for a channel sales user. I'm going to make it this their default as well. So this means that when they set up an account, this is the record type that they're going to be using. When I click Next, now it's going to ask me if I want to apply a different page layout to this record type. At this point in time, I'm not going to worry about that. That's something I can go back and change later. So for right now, I'm going to apply one layout for this record type for all of the profiles. Go ahead and click Save. So now I've got this new record type created. So if you'll notice, now that I've got this record type, it says that I've got this type field down here and these other fields that make it possible for me to actually customize the pick list for those fields. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually take this account type field and customize it for this record type. If I click on Edit, it gives me all of the different values that are available. So if you'll notice, this has already been done, it looks like, for the one that we copied it from, the standard account record type. So I'm actually going to create the inverse here and go ahead and remove all of these. And so I'm only going to bring over the values that are applicable to an account that would be a partner. So I'm going to say integrator, partner, and reseller. Add those. Click Save. Now, when somebody uses that type field on this record type, they'll only see those values displayed. So, and I'll show that in just a minute. So we've assigned it to profiles, we've assigned it to page layouts, and then, so let's go over now to, I'm actually going to do one more thing. Show you how to assign this to a profile after the fact. So let's say at first I only assigned it to the channel sales profile. But now I want to go ahead and try to assign this record type, or at least make it available to standard users as well. So if I go down to Manage Users and Profiles, I'm going to scroll down to my standard user. And you'll notice that if I scroll down, I've got an area for record types. The record type setting. You'll notice that for accounts, they've only got the standard one available, and that's the default. I'm going to edit that actually, and I'll make the partner account record type available to them as well. Click Save. So now I'll show you how that works in practice. So over here in my Firefox browser, I have this standard user set up. I'm going to go ahead and create an account and show you what that experience looks like. So I click on Go to Accounts and click on New. Now I'm getting a choice. I can either create a standard account or a partner account. In this case, I'm going to actually go ahead and create a standard account. Click on Continue. Now we're going to go down to our type field. You'll notice that only the values that are available on the standard record type are available on this pick list. So, and we'll also be customizing leads and opportunities for these users as well later on, and you'll see how that works on those objects. So if I can't, I'm going to cancel out of this instead of creating this new account. Now I'm going to go over to my channel sales user. Now my channel sales user, if you remember, I only assigned them, actually I let them create both types of accounts as well. So if I click on Accounts and New, I get both choices. But in this case, you'll notice that the partner account record type is the standard account record type. Excuse me, is the default record type. Now, since I created a channel account this time, you'll notice that this type drop-down list is now customized based on the settings that I set up before. Again, this can be a really powerful tool in terms of customizing the screen to fit the different types of users. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to go back to my admin account. The next thing I wanted to talk about are lead processes. Now, lead processes, and to find those, you click on Customize and Leads, and then find lead processes. Now, lead processes are really just a customization of the lead status pick list that we're already familiar with in Salesforce. And then each record type has a lead process assigned to it, which is basically the set of values that we're going to use for that lead status field for that particular record type. So one of the things that you need to do before you start a lead process is you do need to create or add values and make them available in the lead status field before they're available to add to the lead process. So if I click on Fields, on Leads, I'm going to find the lead status field. I'm going to make sure I have all of the values available that I want to add to my lead processes. So if I scroll down, got contacted, open, qualified, unqualified. I've added some more, working, pre-qualification, and on hold. So now those are going to be made available for me to add to a lead process. So I'm going to go ahead and click on lead process. Now I've got my standard lead process already set up. I'm going to create a new one. Actually, excuse me, I'm going to show you how that looks right now so you can see which values are available. So in this case, we've got open, qualified, unqualified, working, and pre-qualification. So the standard lead process and the lead status field is going to show those particular values. So again, keeping with our same theme, I'm going to go ahead and copy the existing lead process. We're going to call this channel sales lead process. In this case, the channel sales team likes to have a status of on hold, maybe because the partner qualification process is longer than the traditional sales process, so they want to make sure they have that option available. So I added that over to the selected values. I'm going to click on Save. Now, what I need to do is assign this channel sales lead process to the right record type. So I click on record types. I've already got a new partner lead record type actually, but you'll notice that right now it's using the standard lead process. So I'm going to edit this record type. Now I'm going to select the channel sales lead process as the lead process for this record type and click Save. So let's go to our standard user first. And create a new lead, see what happens. Since this user is using the standard lead process, you'll notice that those are the values that are available to this user. The on-hold value is not available. That's the one that they're assigned to based on the process that I showed before of assigning record types to specific user profiles. Now if I go back over to my channel sales user and create a lead, in this case, this user has access to both lead record types. In this case, I'm going to use the partner lead record type and click continue. And now on lead status, you note I've got this value of on hold. So that allows me to use that value just for this particular record type. Now, the next type of process I'd like to talk about is sales processes. They're very similar to lead processes, but instead of course, using the leads object, we're talking about opportunities. And in this case, we're talking about the field on opportunities called opportunity stage. And so just like with lead processes, we need to first go to the fields area and add the values that we would like to have or make available to the different sales processes. So here we've got the basic Salesforce out-of-the-box sales process items. And so let's say I want to add another item to this list and then make it available in the sales process. I would just click on New and add it as a new field. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm happy with what's there, but I can customize my sales process based on the availability of these different values. The use case for this would be if you had different types of sales teams that are using different processes. And we'll continue on with our same theme and use channel sales as our example. So if I go over here to sales processes, you notice that right now I just have a standard sales process available. So I'm going to click on New. Again, I can base it on the existing one, basically copy everything over. We're going to call this channel sales process. So now it looks like I've got pretty much everything available to me. And so I really like, instead of using the proposal or price quote, because that doesn't really fit with the channel partner because you're not actually selling them products, we're going to remove that. We're going to add perception analysis instead and use that as kind of our in-between value between 60 and 90%. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. So now, just like with lead processes, I need to assign these to different record types. We've only got one record type today. It's our standard opportunity record type using the standard sales process. Click on Edit and make sure so now I'm going to go ahead and create that new sales process, or excuse me, that new record type. Base it on the old one, call this channel opportunity. We're going to select the channel sales process and go ahead and make this active. We're only going to enable this for our channel sales user profile. We'll make it their default, and that way they're the only ones that would actually have access to create opportunities with this sales process and record type. We're okay with the page layout, so we'll click on Save. So now you know I've got some pick lists I can customize here as well. But let's go ahead and see what that looks like on the user side. So if I click on my standard user, and we're going to go to an account, and create an opportunity from the account. So you notice if I go to my stage field, I've got the values that were available, and this is the one that was specifically we changed. Proposal price quote is the value that's available. Now we're going to go over to our channel user, do the same thing. Find an account, scroll down and create an opportunity. Now you notice in this case I've got both choices because that's what I made available to this user profile, and the channel opportunity is the default. I click on continue, and you notice that now instead of having the proposal price quote value, I've got the perception analysis value that's available here. And so really what that allows us to do, again, is customize our sales process based on the needs of that particular sales team. One of the things I want to show, let me go back to the admin. Let me show you a couple more things about record types. So I talked about assigning record types to different page layouts. So the way that works is you can do that when you create the record type initially. You can also do it in the page layouts area by clicking on page layouts under the record and then clicking on page layout assignment. So you notice that I only have one page layout at this point. So those are assigned to all record types. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and create a new page layout actually. Called Channel Opportunity Layout. Now, of those of you familiar with page layouts, you might be familiar with the page layout editor. So let's say in this case, it's really important for the channel sales team to have the forecast category on the page layout, whereas for the standard user it wasn't. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. So now I've got this new page layout. So now I'm going to click back on Page Layout Assignment, and I have this other one that's available. So I'm going to edit this assignment. And for the channel opportunity record type, I'm now going to assign the channel opportunity page layout. What I do is I highlight all of those, select channel opportunity layout. So now that is going to be the new page layout for that record type. So if I go back to my channel sales user, create a new opportunity, you notice that now the forecast category is available as it wasn't available before on this record type. You can do as much or as little customization as you want on that. But again, record types are a really powerful feature. It's one of the reasons why a lot of our clients end up moving to Enterprise Edition of Salesforce, because they can really start to customize the different sales processes and lead processes and other business processes that they have. Record types apply to standard objects in Salesforce as well as custom objects. So there's almost an unlimited amount of customization that you can do in terms of the way the information is displayed and business processes are managed for different types of users. So what I'd like to ask now to see if there are any additional questions around this particular topic. It looks like we don't have any questions today. I appreciate your time. Please feel free to reach out to any of us at Kyazma, including myself. My email address is mike@kyazmallc.com. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any follow-up questions. I'd be glad to get back with you. And hopefully this has been a helpful presentation. And hopefully have a good day. Thank you.